Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. Financial consultant Helmi Hakim here from takaful.sg. Welcome to my Facebook Live. Right? Today is not Friday lah, of course. I think for most of you, you are aware that I have this video series, the Barakah Friday Facebook Live video series ongoing. But today I'm doing Facebook Live because why? Because I've been challenged by my mentor, Dr. Azizan Osman, to do 44 days of Facebook Live consistently, one by one, consistently for 44 days lah. And so this is the first day. I'm just taking my phone, pressing the live button, and ta-da! We are here in the first day Facebook Live video series. And so today I just want to share with you who is Islamic financial consultant Helmi Hakim. Of course, that's me lah. For most of you, many of you know me, right, as a financial consultant that specialises in helping Muslim families plan their finance a shariah compliant way in Singapore, and so that we can live peacefully on this earth and Insya'Allah in the akhira, in the hereafter. Amin, Insya'Allah. But again, today what I want to share with you, my story lah. My story. You know me as an Islamic financial consultant. Yeah, that's what you know me. But I was not that before lah, right? I want to bring to my history lah. This is my story. The story of Islamic financial consultant Helmi Hakim. Back when I was young, right, when I was a kid, right, after my O-level, actually my ambition is to become a school teacher. I want to be a school teacher. I was quite okay lah last time with my Malay language. If you ask me to do poem pantun, you want me to do syair, you want me to do karangan, Insya'Allah lah, I'm able to write karangan, cerpen, all that lah, when I was in secondary school. And at that point of time, I like interacting with kids, young kids, all that, and sharing with them, teaching them things lah that they can learn, right? So naturally what I want to be at that point of time, I told myself, after O-level, I set my target is that I want to be a school teacher, and I applied for NIE, Diploma in Teaching of Malay Language. That was many years back. After my O-level, I applied for Diploma in Teaching of Malay Language with NIE, National Institute of Education. I went for an interview, but I don't make the cut. And so I was declined. My interview was declined. So what happened after that is that I began to think, okay, so there goes my dream to be a school teacher. Because I went for interview. And the thing here is that why? Because at that point in time, that was my first interview in my entire life. After O-level, can you imagine me sitting down in front of 3 interviewers, and I was like, at that point of time, I was like afraid, scared, don't know what to expect. Being interviewed by 3 person, and who's definitely, I think they are 50s or 60s, and they are looking at me and having that certain expectation on this young boy who's about 16, 17 years old, right? Just completed his O-level and looking forward to be trained as a school teacher. So all my peribahasa all jumbled up lah. So the thing is that, yeah, I failed my first interview to be trained as a school teacher. So what happened after that is that I began to think, okay, so there goes my dream to be a school teacher. What do I want to be in the future? The next thing that comes to my mind is that I tell myself, maybe perhaps I can be an accountant. I want to be an accountant. The logic back then, right, is that what, accountant is the most safest job lah. It's the most secure job. Every company in the whole of Singapore need accountants. And for those of you who just tuned in, right, this is Helmi Hakim here, and this is Islamic financial consultant Helmi Hakim here from takaful.sg. Today is not Friday. I'm not doing my Friday Facebook live video series. Is that today what I'm doing here right now is that I am taking up the challenge lah, set by my mentor, Dr. Azizan Osman. He challenged all of us to do 44 days of Facebook live video series, every day, consistently. And so I'm just taking this challenge and just doing it now. And the first topic that I'm going to share today is, who is Islamic financial consultant Helmi Hakim? who is Islamic financial consultant Helmi Hakim. And so back to my story earlier, I mentioned is that my first dream was to be a school teacher, and went for interview and declined. And subsequently, what I think is that what I thought of is that I want to become an accountant. And the logic is simple. And because why? Because every company need accountants. And so what happened here is that I applied for diploma in accountancy with NP. NP. And that time, right, I was staying with my parents, in Marsiling. I was staying with my parents in Marsiling, and I thought, okay, I apply for diploma in accountancy in NP, and Nanyang Poly is just beside Yio Chu Kang MRT, right? Oh, so convenient. And from Marsiling MRT, I take train to Yio Chu Kang MRT. Next door only is already the Nanyang Poly. And so I submitted my application, and then I received the application. I was like really shocked, because NP does not stand for Nanyang Poly. NP stands for Ngee Polytechnic. Oh, alamak, can you imagine that? Tersalah pilih sekolah. Right, yeah. So I always believe that anything happens, right, there's always hikmah lah. Allah don't make things sia-sia lah. And there's always a hikmah to things that happen. There's hikmah for me to be rejected for my application to be trained as a school teacher, and there's also a hikmah for me to choose the wrong school. Instead of NP, Nanyang Poly, I chose Ngee Polytechnic. But I can tell you, right, this was the best decision in my entire life. And because why? Because back in Ngee Polytechnic, right, I was trained to love numbers. I'm not just talking about binary numbers, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, and those meaningless numbers. I'm not talking about data of numbers. I'm talking about meaningful numbers. How to interpret financial statement, trading profit and loss statement, balance sheet, statements of changes in equity, cash flow statement. How to know whether the company is going to be profitable or not profitable over the long term. These are things that I learned. And at the same time, I also learned how to do public speaking. Ngee Polytechnic at the point of time, right, we were challenged and we were forced in one way lah. And because some of us, right, we are afraid. If you ask, I mean, for my course, diploma in accountancy, right, if you ask most of us, right, to do numbers, to compute numbers, right, who can balance the balance sheet the fastest? A lot of us, we can challenge each other. But when it comes to do public speaking, that's where a lot of us face challenges. Alright, yeah. So that's the first time I learned about public speaking, and I learned on interpreting financial statement, and I learned how to take these numbers, how to interpret them and present it in front of our clients, our classmates, our clients lah. That's where I first learned about fundamental analysis on financial statement. Right. So yeah, being rejected to be a school teacher and supposedly to choose a wrong school is a blessing to me, because that's where I learned about financial statements, about interpreting financial statement and public speaking. And after that, what happens is that in school itself, right, Alhamdulillah, I'm privileged with the opportunity to set up my own business. I joined the business club lah. That time I remember me sitting with a lot of students out there. We play the cash flow game by Robert Kiyosaki. They have like competition, the cash flow game competition. So everyone compete with each other. And mashallah, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, I emerged as a champion together with one of the students. So it's like we get the first position together, and that guy become my business partner for my first company that we set up, Gather Info Private Limited. That point of time, right, we were very young. We were like 18 years old. That time when you want to set up a company, a private limited, you need to be at least 21 years old. So we were only like 18 years old. So we used our father's name to register a private limited. But to cut the story short, the business so failed. But that's where we learn. We learn about business, all that. Right, then I went to army. Before going to army, I promote credit cards for a marketing company. Alhamdulillah, I learned a lot from there too. And then went to army. And when in the army, I think for some of us, we have a bit of time to reflect on our life. Good morning, Kak Zahra Kasim. Good morning to you. Yes, all right. So in the army, right, we have a bit of time to reflect on our life. What do we want to do in our life exactly? Nak buat apa okay, do I want to do sales, or do I want to do business, or do I want to do, or if I were to work, what type of profession that I want to do? For some of us, yeah, especially those who took diploma in accountancy, the natural progression, right, is to take degree in accountancy or to take ACCA, and then after that go for the big four, Deloitte and Touche, PricewaterhouseCoopers, that type of big companies lah. But again, one thing about me is that I don't like to be controlled, especially by domineering bosses. And I would like to have some kind of freedom lah. Yeah, the thing here is that I learn about financial planning, or I learn about numbers and practical numbers in this aspect, and at the same time I want to add value to the community. So I was thinking, perhaps being a financial consultant can do good lah. I can apply the knowledge that I learned in school, then at the same time I can share with as many people as possible. I think, isn't that beautiful? But the thing here is that what I felt at the point of time is that I want my job, right, to be halal, to be barakah. And so that's where I send an email to MUIS, and Alhamdulillah, they revert back on the permissibility of cooperative insurance. I will share more on this on my blog at www.helmihakim.com. Then I think further, financial planning is not just about insurance. It also involves about savings for child's education, savings for retirement, savings for as a form of wealth accumulation. That's where I start to realize, wait, NTUC Income or the insurance cooperative that I'm working with, they have actually, they have shariah compliant funds. They have takaful fund, they have amanah equity fund, amanah bond fund, sukuk, all that. Masya Allah. So that's where I become an Islamic financial consultant with a cooperative insurer in Singapore. Alhamdulillah. But the story doesn't end there. To start, right, the journey as a financial consultant, right, is not easy. And when I joined at point of time, right, it was the year like 2008, 2009. It was a subprime mortgage crisis which led to the global economic crisis. Everybody are scared, no? They are scared to spend. They are scared to take out money and give other people money. You know, they are afraid. And especially at the point of time, they got the Lehman Brothers lah, all that. You know, we did a lot of road shows, and I get to interact with the public. Just approach anyone on the public, and they told me, you know, young man, I was very young lah. Young man, I just lost $100,000 lah on this investment product, on that investment product, and you want me to put my money with you? No way, man. So it was a very difficult situation when I just joined the industry. And the thing you have to understand, you know, as a financial consultant, right, when we first joined the industry, we were commission based. And we don't immediately earn $2,000 or $3,000 a month and earn stable income. No, we start from zero. And not only zero, right? When I first start, my commission was about like $400, $500 a month. You know, $400, $500 a month. Not just that, we have to also pay for what you call that fixed costs. We need to get clients, right? So we need to go for road shows. If you see financial consultants out there, right, doing road shows at shopping malls or exhibitions, all that road shows are not free, you know. They have to pay rental spaces. And I can tell you, per person per week, they need to pay at least about $300. So imagine if I earn about like $500 a month at that point of time, and then you have to minus $300, I'm just left with $200. At that point of time, I remember at that point of time, it was a very difficult situation for me. I want to top up my EasyLink card, right? Not enough money. Serious. Just you want to top up your EasyLink card, you don't have enough money. I remember my wallet that time, I only have like $5. And for you to top up your EasyLink card, you need at least about $10. I remember at that point on time, I have to decline invitations from my friends or what, and they ask me, hey, come lah, let's go for what? Let's go for dinner or let's go for lunch. It's a buffet lunch or buffet dinner. I have to decline them politely. It's because why? Because I don't have money. I can remember at that point of time was the month of Ramadan, and we have our iftar at Masjid Wat Tanjung. We share a dulang of biryani, and that biryani tastes so good. Because why? Because we are really strapped of cash. I remember at that point of time, things were not easy. But I also remember a proverb that mentioned, tough time don't last, tough people do. So again, and for those of you out there who are facing challenges in your life, and in this current COVID situation, believe me, tough times don't last, tough people do. So Alhamdulillah, things get better after that. I went for like courses. One of the courses that I went was in KL, in Kuala Lumpur. I remember at that point of time, I was like struggling. So anybody, right, who want to teach me, anybody who want to guide me, I just scramble and meet the mentor. And so one of the mentor I remember at that point of time was Irfan Hari back in KL. And again, no money, right? So what I did is that I went to Malaysia. I went to Johor Bahru. I went to Lakin. And so Lakin, they have the bus lah. You pay only like what, 20 or 30 ringgit, right? 20 or 30 ringgit. Thank you, Zul Azri. Waalaikumsalam. Good morning to you. Yes. Have only like what? You just pay 20-30 ringgit to the bus driver, and the bus driver will drive you all the way to Kuala Lumpur. And I remember at that point on time, because you don't have much funds, right? So you go for the hotel. Hotel only costs like 50 ringgit. But at the seminar that I went to, the hotel was at I think Marriott Hotel or what. It was like directly in front of what you call it, pavilion. That point of time, pavilion is not up yet, no. It's like still under construction. Still under construction. Right? So you imagine, I stay in a like budget hotel, like 50 ringgit hotel, but the seminar that we went to, right? The seminar that we went to is like a 5-star hotel. That's where I start to pick up and learn and upgrade myself. And mashallah, thankfully, my clients support me and refer me a lot of their friends, families, and things gradually start to become better. Alright? But again, after that, I was thinking, okay, Alhamdulillah, I managed to bring my business from one level to another. Is there a way for me to upgrade myself further? That's where I continue my studies to take degree, Bachelor of Science, Banking and Wealth Management. I was thinking of getting a degree like 3 or 4 years down the road after I've being quite stabilized myself as a financial consultant. At that point in time, I was thinking like going for SIM or MDIS. SIM was good, but only thing here is that the exam, the composition of marks, right, in terms of percentage, right, is everything is on examination, but MDIS they have like 70% on exam and 30% on project work. But one thing here that stood out here is that for this MDIS degree course that I took, Alhamdulillah, they have a module called Islamic Banking and Finance, and that's where I took the course, and Alhamdulillah I aced it and become the top 3 in my whole cohort. I was the bronze award recipient. Okay, and so I think that after my degree, Alhamdulillah, things get better and better and better, and even till date, now it's like my 12 or 13 years in the industry, to be a financial consultant in Singapore. Okay, so that's all lah. My first day sharing on who is Islamic financial consultant Helmi Hakim. And for those of you who just tuned in, this is Helmi Hakim here, from Takaful.sg. What I'm doing right now is that I'm doing a Facebook live video because I'm being challenged by my mentor and Dr. Azizan Osman. He challenged, right? He said, if you want the ilmu, I'm doing some training with him. He said, if you want your ilmu to be berkat, you better do this 44 days. So I have no choice. I have to do this 44 days Facebook live. And inshallah, I will share more with you along the way. Anyway, most of us cannot go anywhere, right? Stay at home, right? Okay lah, 44 days sharing my life story with you. I hope you'll be inspired. If you're inspired, you can like, comment and share. And if you want me to touch on certain topics or you want me to elaborate on some financial aspects, all that, inshallah, I'll include it as one of the topics in this 44 days Facebook live challenge. Okay, that's all. Helmi Hakim here from Takaful.sg. Assalamualaikum. Take care. Bye-bye.